this opportunity to say to the people of Liberia that though we are scheduled previously for 12 p.m., 12 midday, 12 noon, the president is dealing with a lot of issues, which includes the daily briefing that he gets from the health team, and then his coordination meeting with our partners. So that went a little bit beyond the usual time frame. So we had to postpone the address to 1 p.m. And we are very close to 1 p.m. Mr. President will soon be walking in to come and deliver his engagement with the people of Liberia. I call it an engagement because since the beginning of this crisis, Mr. President has been engaged in many, many ways with the people of Liberia, and he has shown the leadership necessary for the fight against this deadly virus. A marathon of meetings between partners and ourselves, with the health team led by Dr. Jala and Dr. Musukafala, Dr. Kate, Dr. Masikwe, Dr. Brown, the administrator of the TFK, Mrs. Kofa. They've all been engaged, the medical team with the president on a daily basis. Now that he has appointed Madam Burr and Madam Fina Bono to address some of the deficits we have in coordinating the logistic efforts and the efforts to ensure that the medical team will have all that they require. So he has come now to speak to the nation, to get us support, rally the support of the country, so that we can make this final push for us to defeat this virus, to break the chain. This coronavirus is very deadly. It has decimated the economy of big nations, the health systems. It has caused the entire world to crumble and come to its knees. So Mr. President will be speaking. I cannot preempt the details of his speech.
Okay, Mr. Minister, there have been a lot of speculations these few days about lockdown, curfew. You think the president's address will take care of some of those things?
Well, this will be a very comprehensive address that will deal with all of the issues around the fight against this deadly disease. So I cannot preempt what Mr. President is going to say. I tell you that deficit, they will coordinate, and this is all part of the fight for us to continue. I think the President...
Thank you, Mr. Minister. The President, His Excellency George WEAH has just entered this conference hall where he will be addressing the nation. We'd like to welcome all of our listeners with radio, television, and Facebook. We're here already, so we now go to studio for the national anthem. From there, the President will speak.
Fellow citizens, foreign residents, we are all witnessing the devastation caused by the coronavirus pandemic around the world. Hundreds of thousands of persons around the globe have been infected by it. Thousands have died, as a result of contracting it, and many more thousands are predicted to die. The disease has overwhelmed more advanced health care system in many countries and has brought the economies of several developed nations among to be a complete halt. The sad reality of millions of victims and thousands of deaths around the world should give all of us cause to pause and think about what we must do collectively to protect ourselves from this dreadful pestilence. The horrific scenarios that are beginning to emerge should serve as sufficient warning for every one of us to spring into action. The government of Liberia continues to work with determination, diligence, and focus to combat this deadly COVID-19 disease. You will recall that the Special Presidential Advisory Committee on Coronavirus, the SPACO, was established 2 months ago under my leadership as soon as it was perceived that the disease was likely to develop into a global pandemic of epic proportions that could possibly affect the country. As chairman of SPACO, I have personally presided over many strategy and operational meetings with the aim and objective of coordinating the fight against the corona disease in Liberia. I have also instituted the Executive Committee on Coronavirus, ECHO, as the operational arm of SPACO that will focus on community initiatives and outreach. As head of both committees, I am directly involved with the day-to-day activities with our health experts, members of the cabinet, and our international partners in order to help mitigate the spread of the virus. At the same time, explore ways and means to help ease some of the economic challenges that this virus will cause to our country and people. Fellow Liberians, although our health teams are working assiduously to complete the testing of scores of contacts, we have to recognize that the COVID-19 virus has now entered a new phase in our country. As we move from protection to containment, the dynamics of our management of the disease are being significantly changed, and there will be required much stronger additional measures to delay the spreading of this highly infectious virus and keep our public safe. Fellow citizens, the global pandemic is killing thousands of people around the world. It knows no borders, and there is yet no vaccination or cure. The global spread of this virus represents the greatest threat to the health and well-being of the people of Liberia since the Ebola epidemic suffered by our country from 2014 to 2016. It has already arrived in Liberia, and confirmed cases are now on the rise. Therefore, by the authority granted to me under Article 85, 86, 87, and 88 of the Liberian Constitution, and after due consultation with the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the President pro tempore of the Liberian Senate, as required by law, I, George WEAH, President of the Republic of Liberia, hereby declare a state of emergency to exist in and throughout the Republic of Liberia for a period of 3 weeks, renewable until the threat to Liberia from the COVID-19 virus no longer exists. My fellow Liberians, as a first step under the powers hereby granted me under this state of emergency, the Speaker and the President pro tempore are to convene the 54th Legislature in joint session on tomorrow, Thursday, the 9th of April, 2020, for justification and endorsement of this state of emergency by joint resolution in accordance with the Article 88 of the Liberian Constitution. I further announce under this state of emergency that all 15 counties in the Republic of Liberia are hereby quarantined from 11:59 p.m. on Friday, March 10, 2020 until further notice. Movements between counties are strictly prohibited. No person shall be permitted to enter or leave or in any way across the borders of any county into another county, except for Mossorado County and Mount Gibby County, which are quarantined as a single unit. As a further measure under this state of emergency, all Liberians and residents within the borders of Mossorado County, Mount Gibby County, Nima County, and Grand Cru are to stay at home for the next 14 days beginning at 11:59 p.m. on Friday, March 10, 2020. Throughout this period, residents may leave home only for essential journeys for reason of health and food, which should be restricted to your local community only and be limited to a single person per household for a maximum of 1 hour. Exceptions shall be made for persons who are designated as essential staff in government offices, banks, supermarkets, and other business establishments as a hotel, petrol station, and health facility to travel directly to work and return directly home. All such commercial activities are to be closed no later than 3 p.m. All non-essential businesses and government offices will remain closed, with the exception of essential businesses, health facility, and a few key government offices, such as the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Central Bank of Liberia, the National Port Authority, the Liberia Revenue Authority, the Monrovia City Corporation, and the Liberia Broadcasting System, and accredited media, where only a skeleton staff will be given passes to work. Our government offices may be designated and exempt based on the essential nature of their function. Meanwhile, no exempt government employees and people in the private sector are encouraged to work from home. Also exempted from these restrictions are the production, distribution, and marketing of food, beverages, pharmaceuticals, and medicine, environmental and sanitation activities, members of the security forces assigned to lawful duties, essential staff of electricity, water, telecommunication, banking, and hotels, and the staff of fuel stations. The Ministry of Internal Affairs is hereby instructed to engage the leaders of the various marketing associations in counties under the stay-at-home order to make satisfactory arrangements about the operations of markets during this period, so as to ensure the observance of social distance and enhance hygiene protocols. In all other counties not under this stay-at-home order, residents are to stay within their respective local communities until otherwise ordered. I have ordered the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia and the Chairman of the National Joint Security to enforce this stay-home policy beginning as of the effective date. Further measures will be imposed from time to time under this state of emergency. Fellow Liberians, I want to encourage Liberians and foreign residents to abide by these measures even under the most difficult circumstances. We have to ask ourselves why we should abide by these measures. The answer is simple: to save lives. Remember, the life you save may be your own or mine. We should all learn from the experience of Ebola. We have to give up certain freedoms for the time being until we can get through this. That is why we have found it necessary to declare this state of emergency. I say to you, fellow citizens, stay at home and be safe. Fellow Liberians, let me now take this opportunity to give thanks and appreciation to our brave health workers, including doctors and nurses, and all other personnel involved in the fight against this deadly disease. Your courage, your dedication, and your professionalism inspire us all. In this regard, I would like to call on all retired health workers in Liberia to join hands with your counterparts to reinforce our capabilities and strength to fight the COVID-19 with your vast experience and expertise. We need all hands on deck at this time. I ask everyone to get on board and abide by the health measures and protocols that have been introduced. The enemy today is the virus, not each other. In the meantime, I would like to call upon all our political and religious leaders, social media groups, students, teachers, civil society, and the general citizenry to join us in this fight against Corona. We are all in this together as Liberians, regardless of your political affiliation or religion. We must therefore come together as one people at this critical time of peril for our nation. Let us use our time, talents, and social media platforms to educate our people on the business hygiene and social distance practices that can keep them safe, and to encourage them to abide by the laws and regulations. We can defeat this virus if we all commit ourselves to respecting all the measures that have been outlined. If we are undisciplined, we will be the cause for it to spread. But if we have properly and observed all regulations and health measures, we can also be the cure that will stop corona in our country. As I close, I ask the Almighty God to save our country, Liberia, and the rest of the world from this deadly coronavirus. My fellow citizens, let us all rise and stand together to fight corona. Let us do it for ourselves, for our children, and our country, Mama Liberia. I thank you.
We'll address that deficit, they will coordinate.
Of the Liberia Public Radio and WEAH TV. We want to welcome all our viewers and listeners across the world. Thank you for joining us at the Liberia Public Radio and WEAH TV. Always there to bring you news, information, this is 106 Eastern Standard Time right here from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Thank you. A lot is unfolding across the globe, including in our own country, Liberia, and the rest of the world. I'm Alphonso Zean Soe right here in control this morning. That was the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency George WEAH, Dr. George WEAH, declaring a state of emergency in the West African state of Liberia in a bit to combat the deadly virus, coronavirus. Well, we are here to get your immediate reactions, what is unfolding. Let us just give you some little bit information here that we are receiving, and we're going to dwell on the on our own continent to West Africa. A lot of media sources, the Africa News, 52 countries now battling this deadly virus in Africa. 10,000 plus cases, 534 deaths so far in Africa. And we're going to give you the highlights of the most infected countries in Africa. Yeah, we just want to do a rundown sampling here from what we are receiving here from a major news outlet like the Africa News. Reporting that we have Nigeria at 1,464. Burkina Faso is 384th, neighboring La Côte d'Ivoire, which is in the proximity of our own country, your country, Liberia, 349. The Kingdom of Morocco, 1,242. South Africa, 1,749. Tunisia, 996. And let's just bring you this other breaking news. In the midst of the coronavirus, politics is also being injected as usual. If you've been monitoring news, the Socialist Democrat candidate Bernie Sanders of Vermont reports coming in. Yes, he has withdrawn his candidacy. He has suspended his campaign for the bit of the presidential race right here in the USA. Thus putting the old-time Joe Biden from the state of Delaware right here in the USA now to be the presumptive nominee of the Democratic Party. Okay, let's go here quickly. I'm going to put a number out here. A lot is discussed going on in Liberia, and we need your immediate reactions. So remember, our views and opinions expressed on this network is only yours and not the management and staff of the Liberia Public Radio. I am Alphonso Zean Soe. We need to get your immediate reaction. The last time we heard from the president was when he announced that the coronavirus was reported in Liberia. Now, state of emergency is being put into place. Let's look at the definition of state of emergency for someone who doesn't know why it is. They'll be thinking, what the heck the president is saying, or what is the president trying to say here? Let's set the stage here so you will get a sense of what is happening, because hearing somebody speaking and to also comprehend what they are saying, most likely there are two different things here, but we want to put it in the simplest form here so you will understand. A state of emergency is a situations of normal danger or disasters in which government suspends normal constitutional procedures in order to regain control. When there's a state of emergency in the country, it means things are not normal. In the simplest form, it is not as usual as you want it to be, or it is not as usual. Portions of the Constitution is being tampered with, and you heard the president cited some constitutional provisions as well. What you make of it? We were on this forum here yesterday, and we were making a guess game, speculating as to what the president going to be saying, what new things will have happened. Now, the cat is out of the bag. So let me just put this number out here quickly here, and we will get your reaction here on this program here this morning or afternoon, depending your location. I intend not to do much of the talking here today. You will do, because we want you to express, we want to give you the opportunity to express your honest opinion. So the number is there, 682-433-8802. That's the number to call and have your say right here to get your immediate reactions to the president's address. A state of emergency is being declared, where there will be some free thinker, there will be some open-minded thinker, far and near, and they're going to decide and they're going to look at it. But there are a lot of things, and we are also working behind the scene, hopefully to bring some veterans here. Not today. The arrangement is ongoing. The politics in Liberia is so divisive, and so the game, both the oppositions and the government supporters, but very few are standing up to the task to point out to those aides in government or in society or within the even opposition column. But one group of network that has taken the real front line is the Liberia Public Radios and that of the African Star newspaper. Both institutions have sounded alarm way ahead on some of government policies going beyond. The number is there. Be my guest here. It is Liberia we are talking about, and that's your own country. You listen to the president. What do you think that was left out? Maybe the president should have mentioned. Or is this what you anticipated hearing from your president? Or what needs to be done? Well, you also heard yesterday, prior to this address today, there was a special task force headed by Mary Braw and Finna Bono, who happens to be the close aide to the president. A lot of eyebrows is being raised as well in terms of the transparency that are going to come in here. Because when we think about it, we think about the Ebola fund as to how it was misappropriated. Will we see that sort of transparency this time around? You better speak now or just leave it with God. So, also Yaka Koluba was before the camera. As you know, Liberian politicians, they do love sitting before the camera. You know, everybody likes to have that sort of side of attraction. So it's quite fascinating. It's quite amazing. But let's dwell on what the president said today to the people of the country. It's a state of emergency. And I'm also wondering and pondering as to how this state of emergency will be properly executed, as to whether we have the resources and how it can be done. I am not saying there's anything wrong with the state of emergency, but as to how it will be enforced, who's going to monitor who? I am in the ocean state of Rhode Island. Massachusetts is next door. Connecticut is next door. If there is a state of emergency in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, there is a simplest method in which they can establish my identity as to where I'm coming from and where I'm going. And I agree with the president when he said essential worker, that essential workers, they are working here. Okay, so then do these people have the proper identity as well? with the security apparatus that now being called into to help to execute government mandate, which is normal, which is usual, do they have that capacity? Is that reasoning is there? Is that work is being done inside? Who is a resident of Bon County and Monrovia? How do we establish that political or local identity? I don't know whether the national ID card or driver license illustrate that, but someone can talk to me here this morning. Hello, Kodak. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you all, Mr. Soe?
Good. How are you today?
Not bad, not bad.
Okay, who calling in? Where are you calling from?
This is Pazawa calling from Rhode Island.
Okay, Pazawe. I seems to be running my mouth here this morning here, so maybe you can help me to shut it up here. But I'm concerned, and you listen to the president as well, right? So, what you make of the president's address?
Well, so the president he really need help in Liberia.
Okay. When you say he needs help, what sort of help you talking about?
When it comes to running the government, situation like this, he need a professional people that will help him to put the country on a right path.
Okay.
For example, we have the military that he call upon, the police. Where he come from, of St. Jefferson Koji, with 6,000 militants. Where that one come from?
What I mean, was that in the speech today?
Oh yeah, let me
You put it once.
Hold on 1 second. Let's do it one at a time. I'm wondering, and because that's one of the things too, when you come on this network here, your comments, your statements, you are held responsible for it. So talk to me here, Pazawe, Jefferson Koji. I didn't hear anything from the president.
Oh yeah. And the government is not transparent to the Liberian people, and this is why the government received $15 million from the World Bank on the coronavirus issue. Well, today, our hospital in Liberia, they are not up to date. And he want to impose 3 weeks, stay home. Liberia now, like the other developed world, like America, Italy, and things like that. He should prepare his citizens, most especially the citizens in the urban area, like Monrovia, Majibi, Kakata, and things like that. People that have no access to farm. Why you say you cannot take $1 million or $2 million to buy stable food and go from community to community
to divide the food?
And give the food. What are you doing with the money?
So are you saying? So wait a minute here. Are you saying the donor funds, right, given to the country to execute to fight the coronavirus, the president should use his executive power to what? To buy food and divide in the communities?
Yeah, he's fighting the coronavirus. You in America, and the government of the United States are giving hospital money. And they're giving you, I'm saying, other people.
But money. You are saying quite different thing, Pazawa. You said they should buy food to go divide in the community. You are not saying government should allocate.
The money they're giving you in America, enough for food, enough for other things.
I haven't received anything yet as far. But okay, hold your peace. And I respect your view. Hold your peace here. Let me bring in a different opinion here. There's a number here, 240 number 7253. Call it. Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Amos Zawanja from Maryland.
Amos Zawanja, welcome. How are you today?
Wow, Amos, how are you?
I'm okay, and you?
Okay, great.
Not bad.
Okay, let's take on national issues here. Did you listen to the president's speech today?
Yeah.
Is that what you expect there from the president? And then disappointment, or do you think he should have gone further? What do you think? What do you make of the president's speech?
Mr. Soe, first, thank you. I believe before the president came out to speak today, we have been told what to do and what not to do. right? He's just trying to re-echo that we should stand together to fight this coronavirus. And the only way to fight it is to follow the protocols. Our sisters, brothers that are in the healthcare area in Liberia, Dr. Fala and I think Jala, they are crying. Liberians, this is not a joke. What else do we expect the president to do? We have heard it all over the world in Liberia. Because Liberians, we should have been the example because we went through the Ebola. We should be aware at the front. We should be more obedient. If we are obedient, this thing will not even reach where we are now. But we were challenging the authorities. We have to come and kill us. Our children will not eat. It takes time for market. When we are talking about stay home or social distancing to stop the spread of this, we have heard it from day one from the healthcare workers over and over when there was three. We were paying deaf ears. So when the president said we should stand together to fight, it means you and I, whether we're in Europe, we're in Asia, we can tell our people this is not a joke. Stay home. Your life is better. We should join the president to stand firm and fight this virus. When it comes to money business, we have lawmakers. They call themselves lawmakers too. The situation like this, they can have sessions. What do we do? Then collectively they can put up, submit a bill where it requires money. We talk about transparency, then that's the procedure we need to follow. We present to the president sees it, then it will be approved. But will stand and say, lead the market people. Is that what we expect from lawmakers? To be clowning every day, clowning? No. Let's put the clowning aside and face the fact. What were the government, the officials of government? You are the government. Go in session now. Call emergency sessions. We require financing to help people, whether about distribution of rights or that, but everything should be done. Call an emergency session now, and then submit to the president. This is what we want.
Okay.
If it is done that way, it's okay.
All right. So it seems to me there's a split here in positions quite different from what Pazawe is saying. You are saying there, from what I try to sense out here, the president has played his part. He stepped forward, and that's how you see it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So Pazawe.
Yeah.
There's some sort of agreement here with what Zanwaya is saying in terms of our lawmakers. From part of what I gather from the president's speech, the president seems to be doing their work, because remember when it happens here, right? There was an emergency sessions, was a bipartisan agreement came together. Up to this point in time, even though I just didn't know how much was given to the government of Liberia, because I've never talked to any government officials to authenticate to verify that figure. It makes it very difficult to make a judgment here. But also what I've not seen, the inability of those 103 members of both houses of government, that they have not even convened an emergency meeting. Whether you are a Liberty Party, you are a Unity Party, and the inabilities of all of these darling boys and girls who are from the opposition and the government to sit down to figure out something and kind of empower the government, that has not happened. And now the president calling them for a session. So it's like, hey, you guys are not doing your job. You need to go get your job done. You heard Prince Johnson was saying they should go on break because there's a virus. Oh yeah, when we were paying you 10,000, 14,000, 5,000, 2,000, it was in good times. You did not do anything. You want us to give you a break. So here, I know there are a lot of volumes of call here this evening. But is that one make sense as well? Do you think the lawmakers are doing their job, or is it only the president alone?
Okay, Mr. Son, let me go back a little bit. The government in Africa
Yeah,
It's
somebody
different
need to
from the
somebody.
government.
Yeah, somebody phone is kind of distorting. So yeah, go ahead.
And I mean, the government in Africa is different from government in the Western world. And what I want to say, I want to go back a little bit. When the viral issue started, the president did not focus on it. The president focus was on the Nigerian Oga Noboski nomination. The beginning when the viral thing started, the president will not focus on that. And this is my point. I agree with the president that we should
So,
have this
okay,
thing
then let me just
in
quickly to
rotation.
point out here, and you will agree and you can disagree. I agree. Even right here in the USA, Donald Trump and his Republicans
That's it.
group, they said it was a soundbite
Okay.
and it was a hoax. So
Okay.
everybody somehow plays some
Yeah.
carelessness. And I'm not giving a
Yeah.
justification of the actions of George Weah or the CDC-led government here. But we also talking about the ability, another separate branch of government that should be able to perform her duty. That did not happen.
But that's why I come into. That's why I come into. Joy, we have the capability of the Western world, the Liberia or other countries don't have it. So most time, we that in the diaspora and people that in Liberia that follow the international news, they follow up. All right.
Mm,
So when this problem came from the beginning, our own president here was not serious about it, and that is true.
mm.
I agree to that. But when the thing came to focus, the senator and the representative in this country they put together to do a package.
Okay.
There where I came from.
Okay. All right.
When
Uh,
okay, when the money when that $15 million was
mm,
sent from WH
mm.
for to fight the virus, it, and helping the people, giving them food to stay home, you are telling them to stay away. It's part of the help that you get,
Okay.
you give the people.
All right. Let me get
That
some
did
other extra views here. There are a lot of folks here. 713 number here 3953. Are you there? Good morning or good afternoon. Where you calling from? What's your name?
Good afternoon, Mrs. Zoe. This is M. Madison M. Kemo. I'm calling from Houston, Texas.
Mr. Camon, how are you today?
I'm okay, and it's good to be on your platform again. How are you doing,
Oh
sir?
man, believe me, by the grace of God, I'm just making sure keeping my alcohol and doing everything possible to protect myself. I know all of the regulation will not come from CDC, so some common sense has to factor in. Okay, but talk to me here about your president's speech here today. Where is your?
Okay,
Where's the good side, the
I,
bad
I
side
would
of
like
it?
I would like to pick up from your last statement, common sense.
Mm-hmm,
You know,
mm-hmm.
for me, common sense will guide us that we should first of all put our people first
Right.
in every action.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when the whole coronavirus stuff started, and when it came up that Liberia already have cases, I expected the government, not only the president but the entire government,
Okay.
you know, I expected them to have some kind of in-house meeting or emergency conversation.
Right.
That is the executive, judiciary, legislator, everybody should have come together. What can we do for our people in such an emergency time? Why they are on the other side doing some negotiation or background conversation with international organizations to help
Mm-hmm.
the government and the people. I expected that from them. And, you know, but I don't know how far they went with that. But what I've observed is that the World Bank sent money over there for some help in terms of the whole entire fight against coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
So what I wanted the president or the government to do, especially in Montserrat and Magibie, I expected the government to look into people who are really
Now,
hit.
come on, hold on there. When you say Monserrado and Mount Gibby, those are then you have extracted two county, and after out of the 15, two is taken, and then you left 13 vulnerable. Correct?
And are they just, leave them vulnerable? I was looking at the two counties that are hit currently, Montserrat and Magibie. Those are the two counties that are hit,
But remember,
according to my own information.
yeah, but remember also, and that we need to expand information here because that's part of the problem. You have Cote d'Ivoire is also there. You have Guinea and all of that. So, and you know, I know there are other countries border with those area too. So then, what becomes of them?
Okay, so now if we're having a situation where we will be having future cases on our bordering, towns, bordering with
They are
Cote
no
d'Ivoire,
future.
and
They are there now. The cases are there.
wow.
I was just giving you the profile and quickly. Let's just point it out here.
Yeah, let
Uh,
me just
mhm.
conclude quickly.
Okay,
I'm so
yeah,
sad
there
I
are a
will
lot
hear
of
that kind
people
of news from
calling.
you.
Okay,
I'm
go
so
ahead.
sad I will hear that kind of news from you. But what I wanted for the government to do, when the thing started first, I wanted the government to really come down and talk about what can they do to help vulnerable Liberia, like the disabled, the elderly people, and people who are selling the market from hand to mouth. What can they do to really help them in case when anything hit the capital or hit urban areas that people will not be in the position of going to do selling and other stuff, or even the government employees, or even talking to those who are being employed by private sector. What can they do? I expected the government to do those kind of in-house conversation.
It didn't
That's what I
happen, right?
expected the government to do.
Okay,
You know,
thank you so
and
much.
lastly, before I go, I know other people on the land. And lastly, before I go, I want all Liberian people, especially those in authority, to think about Liberia now. As those who are working from government area making 2, 3,000, 5,000, let's try to cut down our salary. Cut down it and tell the president, say, Mr. President, please don't pay me 3,000 more. Just pay me 1,000. The 2,000, give it over to the people fighting the coronavirus for us. I think that's why the president already crying for today.
I see that as a far-sightedness, and that's a strategy at Rwanda. The government of Rwanda, cabinet ministers are now cutting 10% to help cement international community or donors. I fight against, so it's like you try to help yourself and people help you. But that's a very good and valid point here. I'm not sure. I wish you luck, anybody who will listen to that. But I heard Senator Dillon this morning on T Mac show, making that willing to do 50%, but he did some ridiculous thing too, and that's a different ball game. Yeah, go ahead quickly.
That was my own disappointment from the president too. Even though he did a good speech encouraging the people to be together and work that we can fight the virus. I expected the president to say, as a president of the country, I will cut my salary down 50%. And let's see who will follow me after. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's my own disappointment in speech.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Pasawit, make a final comment. Let me bring in other people here. Let's see what other people have to say.
We all been encouraging people to have social distance.
Okay.
Posted so many times. I made video. I talked to the people in Liberia. But in my conclusion, most especially people that in the urban area that live in Moria, most especially that have no other way to go in the bush.
All right. Thank you very much.
$15 million they brought to Liberia, they should be able to help those people so that they can stay home.
All right.
If you're not going to help them, you want to keep the money, you're not going to have the people stay home or they will have to come outside to find something, some kind of way to eat. That's my point.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go to 404 number. Are you there? 67 Zawanyat, 30 seconds. Let me go to this number. Yeah, 30 seconds. Yeah, 404. Just hold your peace. 404. Hold your peace, please. I beg you. Yeah, let me just. Zawanyat, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, 30 seconds. Quickly for your final point before I bring in the next callers.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Soe, and all participants. Our views will be heard, and God is on our side. We need to stand by what the president said. It's a full text if you want to read it. It's very detailed, but what we need to do is, I think others have started already in the Vera dialect, educating our people to wash their hands, just adhere to the health protocols. The money will come, but some people may have money that we experience in the war. Some people have money and they die. You see, some people have money. So our health is we should follow the protocols. If we can eat as we ate during the war, our life is better.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Zawanya. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, 404 number 6716. Good afternoon, caller.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Soe. This is Brother Jaffa Reeves, according from Georgia. Good afternoon once again.
Right,
good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, Mr. Reeves. Okay, let's hear from you. You heard from your own Liberian here. What's the side of the story?
Mr. So, for me, I'm very, very disappointed. That's why you see most of the time I don't really partake in these shows no more. But, you know, it just
Well, are you
sometimes we
disappointed
feel
in me?
constrained to take up.
You disappointed in me?
No, not you. No, not you. But it's like we're gonna keep saying the same thing, and we're not gonna go nowhere. But not to waste the time, Mr. So, there's one thing I have realized about us Liberians, and I use myself as a case study. Most of us Liberians, we are not really, really educated, or perhaps got the actual dividend we went to school for in terms of qualification. But one thing we do as Liberian that I know in particular is that we are willing to accept change, we are very resilient, and we are willing to learn and go beyond. But the conditions that surround most of, especially my older generation, the conditions that surround our educational processes in Liberia, it did not favor us to actually get the understanding of what we acquire in school in terms of credentials. But however, to go back to the topic, Ambassador WEAH would not serve us no good, and I'm afraid this man may destroy us as a country. Because you see,
how you come to that, Japa, Mr. Reeves?
Yes.
That's a serious indictment. How you come to that conclusion?
That's what I'm about to go at now. If you give me a few seconds.
Okay.
Yes. You see, in the democracy, the process of bringing about democracy is opposition and ruling party or whatever they call ruling establishment. In every democratic environment, you have opposing view. And from the outset of the conversation, in terms of Ambassador WEAH being the president of the Republic of Liberia in 2017, when he came out publicly and make a pronouncement that those with dissenting view that was not in line with his ideology was an enemy of the state, I knew that was a devastating, that was a very, very serious remark. And then I overlooked it. But then as time go back, as that was what he had believed the opposition committee to be, and he had refused to coerce with them. He had refused to interact with them. He had refused from them. In some cases, he even referred to some of the major voices in the opposition as racketeers, criminal individuals. And in the democratic form of government, you cannot have this kind of assumption and you expect yourself to succeed. For me, personally, the information the president just put out a few minutes ago, it was not too bad. But who are you talking to? You are talking to a country that you ruling under divided basic. The country is totally divided, and you refuse to get the other side of the country. And now you want to come up with a decision in the interest of the entire country. That's not going to go. That's not going to go right.
Okay, because if you say it was not too bad, before I go to the next voter, so let's try to rate it here to satisfy your curiosity and to satisfy what you think as a Liberian. I'm not going to make that decision. Not too bad, so it means there's some sort of percentage. So what is a percent if we were to give you the opportunity to read the president's speech today?
Very good, very good. Mr. Soe, the state of emergency that is declared in every nation, it is intended to keep the citizens safe. And the only reason the state of emergency is activated is only when there is a pending danger or when there is an ongoing danger. And it is clear, it is a factual instance that we have a danger of an invisible element that we refer to as COVID-19 all over the world. So the president's decision of state of emergency is not in any error. But who are you communicating to from the onset? So my thing is, whether Liberians should stay inside with no food or food, if for any reason there was a danger out there to kill somebody, and the president was to stand in the gap to prohibit us from accessing that danger, you're gonna say, no, I'm not gonna go there because I need food to eat? No.
Okay.
So when war was coming in Liberia, everybody was running ahead of scatter. Whether you get food or you get food, you're leaving the food to your house, and now you were going because while you were trying to save life. So in this situation, if the president was to take that decision, I don't think it's wrong. But the president has refused to accept some of us in the country as a citizen, and he considers us as
the enemy of the state.
So we are going to make sure, we're going to make sure to demonize. We're going to make sure to criticize. We're going to make sure to abolish every decision making that could favor, that could make him look like a president. So we are going to face him constructively as an enemy. So he declared us enemy. We're going to deal with him in every capacity, in every ideology of our coexistence.
As an enemy.
To confront him on that basis.
Okay.
He considers us to be enemy. Right. So I think that's where this coming from.
So do you see yourself as an enemy?
So, yes, but where's my worst enemy? If I was to have the opportunity.
No, I said, do you consider yourself as an enemy of a state?
I am an enemy to WEAH. Saying he's an enemy to him, he's enemy to me, an enemy to him. You know, I can't nowhere near me. And when I fuck with me.
Okay, all right. No, that's all right. Okay, thank you very much. All right. Okay, somebody is yeah, somebody please continue. You kind of busting my eardrums here. All right, 412 numbers. Let's keep it to 1 minute. 1 minute at least. 412-7053. Are you there, caller? What's your name and where you calling from?
Yes, I'm here. I'm Roberta Rashid. I'm calling from Maryland.
Okay, thank you so much. I think I'm gonna give you maybe. For most often we don't have somebody. I don't want to turn everybody off. Please. That's some of the things
that.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
The president's speech wasn't bad, but I'm seriously confused about him. Very approved. Appointment was very good. Finna Bondi, I'm scared of him putting her in that position. I do not trust her. I do not trust him putting her in that position. Secondly, Liberia is not like the U.S. In the U.S. here right now, I'm working at home and I'm getting paid. Those who are not,
hold on. Look, I'm going to turn Arab youth for those of you here. I don't, please. These are some of the problems. Yeah, sorry, dear madam. Hold on 1 second. For those of you, if you're not talking now, please mute your phone. Have us mute your phone softly, and other than that, I'm going to do it. That's some of the same problem we're talking. We say government not listening. We don't want to listen to one another.
I'm listening.
All right. Go ahead, madam, by 412 number.
Yes, what I was saying, the president's speech was fine, wasn't bad.
Okay.
His appointment of Mary Blow, excellent. His appointment of Finda Bundu, very bad.
Bad decision.
I do not trust him. Trust him putting her in that position.
I'm curious, why?
Who is Finda Bundu to the president? Beside her white title.
Unless you tell me, I know her to be one of the aides to the president.
And what else?
That's officially, that's what I know about.
If you claim that you don't know, I'm not going to go there, but a lot of us know who she is to him. Secondly, Liberia is not like the U.S. In the U.S. here, those who are working and are encouraging to stay at home to work are getting paid. Those who have been encouraging to stay at home, the government provides funds for them. Liberia is not the same.
Right.
What's going to happen to the folks who have been quarantined and not getting paid, staying at home? Well, the government gave some of the funds, not just in money-wise, where will the government provide food and different staple stuff for the folks to provide since they cannot go out into the market? You know, can they do that?
I wish I was an official spokesperson of the government. Those are answers that I'm seeking from good citizens like you.
Those stuff should have been included in his speech.
Right.
You know, what would they provide for those who are
some
home?
supplementary proposal or you know, some help to reach out to the most vulnerable. That did not happen.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. That's it.
Do you think it's too late not to cut you off? Do you think it's too late to do that? Besides the president, we all been following here. Do you think
it's not too late?
Okay.
It's not too late. Someone like Mary Brooke can put that into perspective. She can do that. She can set that up.
Yeah, because I think I think I agree with you that because she's the overseer now. So who knows? That's where the package is going to come in here. But talk to me before I let you go to bring in other folks here too. Our lawmakers, I don't know, maybe you can help me with the information. I think they have been missing in action in terms of putting tangible forward. They are my direct representation, the representatives. I don't see that sort of bipartisan thing taking place.
I do not trust the lawmakers. The lawmakers are brown envelope lawmakers. They don't care for their folks. I do not trust them. I do not trust them at all.
Okay. Are there special people that you don't trust or all of them?
Majority of them.
Majority.
Are
Okay, yeah, that's a fair analysis. All right, thank you so much. So, okay, let's make proposal to it, and that's what we like to encourage people here. So let's pretend that the president is listening, or someone close within the proximity of the president is listening. What would be your own idea you want, maybe the president or channeling it to this committee here? What would you want them to do?
My main concern is for those who at home, not working and don't have food, don't have funds to provide. Let them set up some provision for those folks. Let some provision be set up for those who are not working, and don't have funds to go out and buy food in the market. Okay. They're allowed to go out sometimes, for essential stuff like food and stuff. But where is the money to go and get the essential needs? Yeah,
right. All right. Thank you so much for your excellent point.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Okay, when we're having this sort of civil conversation there, it helps to enhance what we want to do here. All right, already here. Okay, 346 number. No, let me count to 267. 346 just came in. 267 5983. Are you there?
How you doing, brother? So
good. Good morning.
Afternoon.
It's afternoon now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
quickly.
It's afternoon. Let me take this time to extend thanks and appreciation to the president for locking down of our country. But I think that speech today, the way he looks, it looked to me though, that's my own idea and that's my own observation.
That's your view. It's not
the
our
president. Yeah, that's my view. The president is not well. Yeah.
Oh.
The president is not well. The way I look at that, WEAH today, he's not well at all. He's not well at all.
What's the simpler definition of that? What do you mean by he's not well?
He's not well. His look, I observing his look, his lips, his looks, his lips, his eye, his hair, his whole body structure. President WEAH is not well. This is how I look at him. And to the appointment he made with Finabono, I don't accept it at all. There are other inner citizens, good citizens in Liberia that are supposed to lead that department he created to talk to our Liberian people.
What could be the kind of reason that you do not accept Finabot? Something I want to hear. People are not still saying it. Let me just give you the opportunity.
Okay, Finabono is not fit to lead that organization.
It's too vague.
Part of that organization.
When you say it's not, why? Is she not physically fit or what?
Yeah, the reason is this. You cannot be a chief protocol to the president and the president's best friend for you to lead those type of group. It faced with it will come down. It will border down to the president with interest. It will boil down to the president with a lot of questions in future. And it will boil down to the president when they are making reports to the Liberian people. What happened? And Finabono will not explain anything to the Liberian people. That's my reason. With Mary Brown, yeah, I'm seeing it. She is forceful. She implements some other actions. It is Mary Brown then CDC. Mary Brown then a Liberty Party, and it's Mary Brown then CDC. Yeah, that's good balance.
Okay.
That's checked in our society.
Okay, quickly here, before I let you go, 30 seconds here, what would be your recommendation if the president was to do it all over?
My recommendation to the Liberian people and the advisor and the security around President WEAH, they should keep him home. They should keep him home.
They should quarantine him.
Yeah, they should keep him home. Let him take treatment. Let President WEAH come to himself before they bring him to the public to speak. It was a wrong idea. The president should have stayed home today, gave a speech, audio speech to the Liberian people. But they forced that man to come out today to appear to the Liberian people. It was wrong for that 2 minute or 3 minute speech he gave. He is now well.
Thank you so much.
Brother. So thank you very much for having me.
All right. You on a 267, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this is quite interesting. A lot of things, different things injected into it. Let me welcome my own guy here at Yes, and it's one of the strong verses into this talking point business we are in. Okay, 347 number 3746. Are you there? Okay, well, if you decide to leave, then it's not our own business. Okay, I think they didn't manage the cutoff. Are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm right here.
Yeah, is that 347 number?
Yes, sir. This is Kessery Daba calling from Texas.
Okay, Mr. Dawa. Quite amazing. I guess you've been following the program and people different views and opinion. Where are they going wrong, or what wrong am I doing here? What's your side of the story?
Yes, sir, I've been following the program from the onset. When the president gave on the onset of this whole coronavirus issue, Mr. So I think the whole, process been taken by the Liberian government is completely upside down. What I mean by this is that Mr. So Liberia should have set an example for other people to follow. We had an Ebola virus case in Liberia. We should have been somebody already with the experience to handle these things. Other countries should have been the one coming to us now seeking advice as to how to handle some of these things instead of us waiting for people to tell us what to do because of the experience from 2014. Fortunately for us and unfortunately for the world, this virus did not start with us. That in itself gave us time to have prepared ourselves for what was happening. This virus did not really come to us until lately, after almost every country around us has already getting infected at a wide scale. This is something that we shall be getting prepared for. So for the president to have just come out today to have make a blanket speech with nothing in it, it is.
So what a minute here, and I know other folks are talking. When you say he makes a blanket speech, it's nothing. You did not gather, and I'm not going to put words in your mouth. That's your own view, opinion. So it suggests to me you did not gather anything out of that speech from the president, correct?
Absolutely nothing, Mr. Sue.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Let's say, for example, you knew that you're going to come over lockdown. It is something that the government had already planned that they will come over lockdown. There should have been things put into place.
Example?
Let's say, for example, some of the songs that Darrell Dillon been singing all along. He's from the opposition. You don't have to take things from him if you don't want to take things from him. Because I think some of these things have been politicized. Which, of course, I don't think we should be doing. Regardless of whoever say anything, when it comes to this virus, I expect us to hold it as a team, no matter which side it comes from. Through consultation. Look at Ghana. You know what the Ghanaian president did, for example? He joined hands with the opposition political parties.
Cote d'Ivoire did the same.
Thank you. It has nothing to do with if tomorrow you succeed, your government succeed. They are not going to say the opposition succeed. Right now, when the president made his speech,
before I let you go,
everyone is breaking.
Before I let you go here, do you think the opposition has opened up significantly to get this also to embrace government idea? Do you think are they willing to work? I'm just curious. I'm just asking.
I think in my mind, I think the opposition have been willing to work ever since.
Okay.
But it is the government herself that is not opening up to the opposition.
All right. Thank you very much. That's the view and opinion, and not the views and opinions of the management and staff of the Liberia Public Radio. Okay, Pa Joy, just hold your peace here. Let me come to this number here, 646 number 0793. Caller, good afternoon. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
Good afternoon, Mr. So. This is Evangelist Levi Titus Daniels, and I join you from New York City.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry. I should have checked on you. You are, I don't know, but that's what we're going to take on you. How things on our side from New York, it's New York side. How are you doing? How the family there?
Well, we give God the glory. We are just looking up to God for everything because we don't see help coming from anywhere else beside God. We're not getting positive encouragement from
Donald Trump, not Como, nobody.
Not from Donald Trump. Donald Trump, in fact, is confusing us because he will come and say the World Health Organization It's recommending that we use masks in the street.
So
And
then
Donald
there
Trump
seems
was
to
like,
be
"Hey,
a war. There seems to
we
be
are
a
not using
war
masks."
scenario that we are talking about here. Okay, but let's just go into your talking point here this afternoon. You had a chance to listen to the president's speech first and foremost.
Yeah. I've been following the president's speech. I just want to call on Liberians. You know, our situation is different. It's different in the kind of a way that we already have problem before this crisis came. We've been following the country. We've been talking about our economy. We have not even recovered from the crack of the Ebola virus or epidemic
Reverend,
on the
somebody listening to
2015.
you there was saying that that's a justification of the government you are making this morning. Is that the direction you are going in?
No, not really the justification. Let me just be clear on this. I'm not justifying the government action, but I'm saying that when we are comparing ourselves to other nations around us, we have to look at where we were before coming to where we are currently. Okay, the government and the entire country have been giving excuses for where we are when it comes to our economy, when it comes to everything, due to the crisis of the hit of the Ebola. Okay, and some mismanagement. However, we have come to this. This thing have been announced by the World Health Organization as a global pandemic. This is not about politics. This is not, we know people need to survive, but we have survived in difficult times, in very difficult times. This is about every single Liberian putting their hand on deck. Nobody has to take. Look, the issue of even social distancing is not even working. We've been following all of the live or social media or interview that people have been carrying out in places the red light, in places the water street, and other places. It's not working. You see, our people, they don't even know how to practice social distancing. Okay, and then when you have people going to enforce the thing, then they will say the government beating the people, the other thing happening. I think in as much as the government needs to put other things in place, in addition to the pronouncement that have been made. But I think this lockdown is very much important. It's very much important because we're hearing something cases coming from Grand Chile now. People dying in Ganda or Nima County, and it's happening in Makibi. It's happening in Mark Serrado. So it's better people stay where they are. If we have started this thing even in America, we wouldn't have been where we are today. But when the thing has started, they took it one way. President Donald Trump said it was China business. That's
China
China
virus.
So they might handle their affair. And now what they started doing, they were not helping China to solve the problem though. They were not helping China to solve the problem. They started importing people from China into America. So they didn't say, okay, let the people lead down there, let help China to solve the problem. They brought the people into the country, and now it has spread. If you look at statistics, we far above 3-4 times above China.
Okay, so quickly here.
We are tapping it. So
Yeah,
my only take here to the president, my only recommendation to the president is that what the president has done, I support that idea. However, the government needs to ensure that the people well-being, because if you lock the people down and we don't have a food to help them with, we lock the people down, they don't have basic social services, that's going to be worse than the coronavirus. So the government has to work on modality to be able to help the people while the people in their lockdown. But if you ask me for the lockdown, I support the lockdown. Whoever in Makibi, they remain in Makibi. If there's a situation there, we will go there with our task force and go and help that situation to get calm.
So, what I try to sense out here, you are in 100 support of the president's speech to the nation today, correct?
I'm in support of the lockdown, but it's not sufficient.
Okay.
It's not sufficient. Why we make it sufficient, why we synchronize the whole thing or make it better is for them to go in and assist the people, because the people will not be locked down while they're hungry. They won't be locked down where they can't go to the market. So the government needs now, Mary Bro, Finabono, people should start talking about who is more better to do this thing. Every Liberian should do it. Finabono is a Liberian. If she can do it, she can do it. Mary Bro is a Liberian. If she can do it, she can do it. And every Liberian needs to contribute. Okay, so that we can see how best our people can be assisted, so that we can see how best that those are
in the medical area can be able to be very responsive to cause. We need to put our hand on that and forget about this party taking. This is not politics. This is the contract. When Ebola came, it was not politics. Okay, and this is the next thing. It no big man, it no politician.
Oh, but let it ask the royal family what happened to them.
What happened to the royal family?
Okay, but man, thank you very much. Let me bring in other people here. All right. Okay, this is quite amazing. All right, let me see here. There's a number here, folks. Please bear with me. Let me just bring in the inter. If you are listening, please cut off your. I'm getting there. All right. There's a number from Europe. Are you there, caller?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, folks. So those of you here, let me.
Yeah.
Oh, the €2 number.
Yes.
Okay, so then we shouldn't have power struggle here. Let's do it one at a time. The first one to answer me, then my guys here in the US, I will beg their indulgence to stay there with me. Okay, from Europe, where are you calling from? What's your name?
My name is William Falafaya.
Okay, how are you today? Which part of Europe are you calling from?
I'm not calling from Europe. I'm calling from America.
Yeah, okay.
Based in India.
Yeah, hold on one second.
In India now. Okay.
Okay, just hold on 1 second. I saw the Europe number here. Is that 3?
Yes, I'm here. The euro is here.
Okay.
Mr. Soe.
Okay, yeah. Good morning. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Mr. Soe, this is Alphonso Zean Soe. I'm calling from Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. How are you today?
We thank God.
Okay.
Thank God.
All right. Yeah. Let's hear from you.
Yes, the president did extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, as a Liberian, I believe that the speech is timely. It has come the right time. Because I'm speaking to you right now, we have 31 cases and 4 deaths. So we got extra 17 cases today.
Mm.
Now, if that does not create fear in a Liberian heart, then I think we need to do something else, because this is getting scary. You understand? Mm-hmm. It's not 3 cases, it's not 10 cases, it's not 13. Now we have 31 cases. Mm-hmm. And when we're telling people, please, social distance, stay home, they are taking it to be something like politics. And people are telling their family in Liberia to don't listen to the government, go to the market, don't listen to the government, do this, do that. This is not about politics. This is about life and death. You see, Mr. Soe? So I believe that the speech is timely, and I also believe that the measures that were put in place, by all the appointees, the appointments, and the special, RMT unit are in place. They are doing their best. Most of the time we are criticizing the government, Mr. Soe, but I believe that we need to criticize the citizens too, because the disobedience is too much. Now we are about to enter Saturday and Sunday. You will see people will start going to church. I mean, the churches will be full again. Instead of you staying home, and Sunday don't go to the market, people will still disobey, and police will start beating people and putting people in the prison, and you will say, oh, it's a dictatorship. This is not about that. It's about we, the citizen, being law-abiding citizen.
Okay, quickly here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
sir.
quickly
go
before
ahead.
I bring in the next people, you say the president's speech was okay, which is understandable. That's your view. That's your opinion. Was there anything missing from in that speech that perhaps you thought the president would have put it in, or is everything just okay?
The speech, well, there was an error where he's supposed to say April 10, he said March 10. You can make that same mistake. I can make that same mistake.
I'm not really talking about, but I'm just talking about the inner part of the speech. There are other people talking about other things. We did not hear details, or some are there, but who knows whether the committee will come. But I'm just talking about there are some tangible things that you think the president should have put in the speech.
Mr. Soe, I believe that the speech was complete.
Okay.
I mean, the Liberian people want to hear that. Okay, I will get
everybody. All right, thank you, sir. Yeah. Okay.
No, let me say the thing. The Liberian people want to hear that. I will get everybody 10 back or rest. Maybe that's what they want to hear. But unfortunately, maybe they didn't hear it, so they're angry.
That's not what I'm even
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm not interested in that. I want people to be able to do stuff for themselves. Okay, let me see here. There's a UK. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, man.
Okay,
I'm still here too.
Yeah, I'm going to come to you. Gentlemen, please do me. Just bear with me. This guy, a person calling from long distance, and I just want to give him an easy pass.
Calling from London, yeah.
Yeah, London. Okay, what's your name and why? Which part of London? What's your name?
I'm Alexander Clark Collins. Calling from the city of Milton Keynes.
Okay, so how you guys doing down there, man? How everything there?
My brother, the situation here is getting worse. We lost the total of 800.
800 exactly. I was just monitoring that on Al Jazeera
today.
Yes.
Just in England alone.
Yes. You're quite correct. And I was that news, I was just monitoring it on Al Jazeera. 938.
The total now is 900 now. Right now, sticking. Yes, 900 now.
So this is serious than what you and I or any other person thought before. Okay, you had a chance to listen to your president, even though you are far away from homeland. Did you listen to President WEAH today?
Chief, to be for you, I did not, listen to the president, but my own advice for our Liberian people, simply, when the president, command, I hope they respect what the president asked them to do, especially the lockdown. It's very important because here, from the beginning, our leaders did not take this, serious. And today, as you said no. You have been living, listening to even our prime minister right now in intensive care. As a prime minister of the whole nation, who will be helping us to get out of this year in intensive care because of paying deaf ear to the situation. Yeah. So I'm personally asking our fellow Liberians back home to take this situation very serious. Today, my brother, I'm not lying to you. I'm not being funny here. I still have a doubt whether we have the epidemic, cases in Liberia. The president said it's a case of, they have few cases in Liberia, but I'm still having a doubt because this is not a joke. We have cases of people who are accused to be, infected.
So then what do you think here? Then let me just ask you here. You're not going to make a statement here in UK and I'm here till you walk away here, but as your view here, when you say you still have a doubt, then what do you think that is in Liberia that we don't know about?
What happened? Because I know the thing is, okay, I'm not trying to condemn somebody here.
No.
What I'm trying to say here is that this is a serious case, a serious situation. And our Liberian, even up to the police, I've been watching the police, the action, the reaction in the street. They're still grouping together. They're still touching each other. I saw a case where people, it was an accident in Congo town, where I saw a lot of hundreds of people grouping together. If the pandemic exists in our country, my brother, a lot of people will be infected. Seriously. Where my doubt coming from?
So you are of a strong conviction, maybe something there, but this coronavirus is not in Liberia. That's your strong conviction? Is that what you're saying?
That's my conviction here because I know the thing. I just lost my colleague today, and also a brother. Maybe you heard about him, Leo Howard.
Yeah, I saw that post.
He's my brother.
Wow, my condolences. Our thoughts and prayer with the family.
So okay, my brother. So the situation, my man. The president. We all have to. Help the president. Whether it's real, that we have cases, but prevention is better than cure. To be from you, I'm not.
So then let me ask you here, and not to put you on the firing squad here this morning or evening your time here. So do you believe the virus is in, for example, in Cote d'Ivoire or Ghana, or is this the same thing? You think?
Chief, to be very realistic, thanks for that question. I'm still having a doubt, from the statistics, from the analysis of the health of the professional. They're saying the virus cannot, survive, in the kind of hit our country has today.
I haven't seen that statistics. Where can we get it from?
They're saying, according to the scene of the health profession, they say the virus cannot survive, above 25 degrees.
Let me tell you now. Let me tell you now. As far as I'm concerned, I just do not want to overrule your own assertion here. But these are questions people been asking here, but they are complete conspiracy. What I do know is a group of French scientists, they wanted to experiment some sort of vaccines in Africa, and that's where WHO came out and said, no, this is racist, this is an insult to the country. Why would you want to go in experiment? But these are all self-imposed conspiracy, okay, and that's why one Omoke her said she heat her house until her nose and mouth and everything was bleeding, and say, why all they say virus the heat can kill? Okay, that could be the probability if something, but to say, oh, because of the humidity or because of weather condition, I don't know. I haven't seen any scientific or any tangible from any of the credible institutions or the CDC or professional. But go ahead, just make your final point.
Good. So now look at the whole thing. For me, I know our leaders are greedy in Africa as a whole.
Right.
And I can tell you this to my brother. If the pandemic were really, for example, Nathaniel Blama was accused to be having the infection. Nathaniel Blama, he came from abroad and rode on a plane. And I think he was in transit also before arriving in Moravia. So if Nathaniel Blama really have this virus, definitely it means all those who he came in contact with before getting to his house, every one of them, maybe 50% were going to be having the virus. But where are those people? If the virus really existed, if it was not a setup, why these people, none of them, all the people were here on the plane. He got from the plane, he got to the airport, he went to the house, even his dog went home, according to him, he slept with his wife. And all those people,
I know about that.
Why none of them contacted this virus? And that is where I have a doubt.
Okay.
And my doubt, I thank God that my nation is safe, and all I want right now, what I need to put in place is precaution.
Okay.
Because
so do you agree with the precaution the president has constituted today in his state of address?
Yes, I agree with him. Yes, I
emergency?
yes, I agree with it. The only thing I do not agree with is that
the virus
one is Liberians are suffering at the moment. The masses are suffering. So if they are having a lockdown, how are they going to survive? Have him put anything in place for the citizens to survive? Why
I don't want to expand on this thing here, but it seems to me you are in two places now at the same time. You agree with you're telling Liberians, they shouldn't take it. Hold on 1 second, please. You gotta be patient here. Look here, when people come on this network here, any statement you make, you're not just gonna walk away. We will question you.
I'm just passionate. I have the occasion to express myself because I'm a strong nationalist. You know what I'm saying? And this situation here, if we have to go indoor, if the people have to go indoor, how are they going to survive? That's my question.
So then why you call for it initially? You did not raise those questions before. You did not. You said you first started off by saying Liberian people shouldn't take this thing here for a joke. And you cited a very good and perfect example.
They shouldn't take it for a joke at all. But equally so, I'm asking the president to help these people. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
To help the citizens to survive, to be able to sustain themselves while they are in that curfew.
Okay.
I can call it.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, my man. Thank you so much. We just like to hold people responsible of their comments and whatever they say, not just on the government or politicians.
My brother, hold me responsible. I'm a national, I said to you.
Okay.
All right. Hold me responsible. What I'm saying to you, and I said to you, I repeat it. I repeated myself that I don't believe
that there's a virus in Liberia.
That virus exists in Liberia.
But I asked you about Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. I asked you about other neighboring African countries, so you don't believe that as well? Because it's the same.
Obviously, Cote d'Ivoire, again, Cote d'Ivoire is another nation too. Look, they all conspire.
52 African countries conspire to say there's a virus in that country? Is that what you want to tell me?
No. Okay, the situation here, let me really say here. They are saying this here. Have you been to our quarantine ground to see what they are doing there as a journalist?
I'm speaking from Liberia. That's a different ball game. And I agree that's a legitimate question. But I'm saying out of a continent with 52 countries now being reported of this virus here. So are you saying all of them that is there a conspiracy? All of these people put together? Is that what you're saying?
No, okay. I'm not saying all of them though. I'm saying right now in my Liberia, we accused Nathaniel Blama of having the virus, my brother, at the time. And when Nathaniel was accused of having that virus, what happened? One of the people who were on the plane with him, even including the city major, all those people that he came in contact with.
Good question. We questioned that. We wanted him to. Okay, let me just leave it here. Thank you so much. But that's a good question. We will keep having this discussion. And I agree with that. Everyone who ordered on that plane, they should have called in and to test them to seek something. That makes sense. All right. Thank you so much. And stay safe there, my man. Okay? We'll pray
Thank you, brother. Thanks so much. And God bless. And continue doing what you do, my brother.
All right. Thank you so much.
Goodbye.
All right. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Who's this? 240 number 57574. Are you there?
574. Yes, I'm here.
Okay. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Go ahead quickly.
Yes. My name is William Falafaya. I'm calling from America.
Okay.
State of Indiana.
Indiana. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's go back to baseline here. What do you make of the president's speech today? Follow the game.
Well, to me, I listened to the speech, and he spoke like a president, and I concur to his speech, and I believe that all those who have listened to his speech, I believe that they all concur to the speech.
Don't make decisions. Don't make decisions for people, my man.
No, so I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, okay, but somebody listening to you here.
Except for the fellow that just spoke from I think England. Yeah, who is actually contradicting himself based on his speech. So because when this whole issue started, like the fellow from Amsterdam who gave a very good point, when this whole issue started, everywhere in the world, people are not really taking it very serious. People are saying, "Oh, the China issue, so let China deal with it until
Okay, yeah, let's get to the point here. I'm running out of time.
Let's go to the point. So the point is, the president gave a very good speech, and I agree to the speech, and I believe that all Liberians should support, and all Liberians should abide every policy and every prevention measure the government is trying to put in place, because the government is not making any policy or any prevention right now for the government, for itself. It's making it for the people. So, and the only way this virus can be prevented is when people observe the prevention measure, more especially social distance.
Okay, quickly here, before I let you go, your statement or your view here, is it a nationalist view here, or is it a pro-government supporter?
Well, this is for everybody supporting everybody.
Okay.
I support everybody's view, but I always want people to see the truth where the truth has to be said.
Okay.
That is me. And like I said, I have been indoors since the beginning of May. Yes.
Right. Okay.
And I'm indoor in the beginning of April. I'm going to be indoor till the end of April. So
maybe May, right?
Because yes.
Okay, man, thank you so much. Let me let you go and break you somebody else.
No, let me just say something. Let me just say something quick to all Liberians. I have been indoor since March. So from March to April, I'm indoor. So all Liberians, this is not only the president, this is not only the politician, this is for all Liberians. All Liberians, this is the time for.
Thank you.
All right.
For everyone to support.
Okay.
Anything you have, anything you give, because as I learned, people are only blaming the government now. What the government has not do, the government is not doing anything for us. Okay, we all agree. The government has messed up. It's from the origin, from the genesis, from the foundation. The government messed up. We all know.
Right. Okay,
but now the time has reached where every citizen has to help, one way or the other. Whatever you have, help Liberians.
Thank you
for them to stay home.
Thank you. Okay, let me quickly, let's keep it to the point here. We'll be wrapping up here right on top of the hour. Pa George, let me just bring you in here. I think you are listening to attentively. Mr. George, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, so talk to me here a little bit here. I'm kind of a little bit chilling, and I getting anxiety from what I said here. You listen to our brother from UK, and this seems to play in with other as well. He still have the apprehensions that his view, that his opinion, that there is nothing like a virus exists in Liberia. But then when I twisted the question as to whether he believes there was anything in Cote d'Ivoire or Ghana, that was a sticky one in his throat that he could not answer. So I hate to do this here. Let's get that record straight here. Is there something? I know you're not in Liberia. You are here with me. Is there anything to suggest that this is a sort of maybe a political ploy that designed by government? Nothing is in Liberia, and people are because we've long been hearing this thing here that is nothing in Liberia, and the government wants to get money.
No, I totally disagree with anybody who will come up with that notion. I totally disagree with them. The virus do exist. The virus in Liberia. But to the president's speech, I was a little bit taken aback. I was disappointed.
Okay, so then let's come to the president's speech. What was your disappointment?
In most aspects of the speech, one, the time, they said 10 o'clock. Everybody said from yesterday to today, then they said 1 o'clock. And these are critical times. When a leader said 10 o'clock at critical time, you expect the public to be listening and watching. And they come to say, oh no, it's just 1 o'clock. And like they take it to be a habit. With not taking into account, these are things people count on you as a leader. But here's the thing. I agree with the president on people staying home. That was no argument. Because I do know that the virus do exist. But here is where I come in different. What has the government done? What's the package that this government has put aside to tell the Liberian people, this is what, with the little meager of resources we have, this is how we are earmarked to fight the epidemic. Nothing. What is the source of donor country has given to Liberia? Nothing outlined. That makes me to wonder, what would be the transparency of this government to the people when the people are in dire need? Because we know from the Ebola time what happened today, people are not yet still to account for funds. Now I listen to other than the World Bank get 15 million. WHO they say 20 million. Now, all these things, nothing is outlined in the president's speech. Secondly, nothing is allocated to counties to tell you, you know what, okay, Kakatown, that is by Gibi, Bomb County, Nima, Lofa, Grand Nigeria. These are the material that we are throwing into this country for emergency. This is why it's allocated to this country, just in case when something comes out that they can use it immediately to start the fight against this virus. None of those things were mentioned in the president's speech. And people come to tell you, oh yes, the president's speech was okay. But these are the ingredients the Liberian people need to know. Is the government telling me there's no money? There's no donor has given any fund of material, and how the material has been distributed? Okay. I did not hear anything from the president's speech.
Okay, hold on.
So that's where my disappointment comes in.
All right.
Because in other words,
okay. Yeah. Okay. Don't go away. Stay here. And those are very valid point. That's the kind of conversation I like to keep as well. 240 number 7253. Are you there?
Yes, Mr. Soe.
Yeah. Okay. 240-7253. Go ahead quickly. We can keep it to the. We can keep. Yeah, Amos. Yeah. Go ahead. What's your point?
Yeah. Thank you. You see, earlier, Mr. Soe, when I spoke, I did mention that when we talk about government, we are the government. The citizens are all part of the government. We are all government. So when we say the government should do this, then sometimes when I spoke, I said, then let's do it this way. Instead of individual, I come and say my salary, I get 10%, this and that. That's not enough. If I'm a lawmaker, extending public 10% should be given. Let it be a session, emergency session, as I said earlier. That emergency session, the lawmaker will come up with a package for the people, for the citizens generally. If that is done, because that's what other people do here. They meet and then the president signs it. So when that happens, then whatsoever amount that is appropriated, whether United Nations gave 15 million or this, that. Then that package be prepared, food be distributed, money will be distributed because then it has become approved by all of us. So in multiple sessions, I repeat, should be held.
Okay, all right.
Address those issues, whether food distribution or money. Then we'll see the transparency, the accountability will be.
Okay, thank you very much. All right. All right. Oh, this number here. Okay, 612 number. Are you there? 612-3309.
Oh yeah. So I'm here. How you doing this evening, afternoon?
Good. How are you? Tell us a story. Tell me your story.
Yeah, Mr. So by the way, my name is Prince Williams, and I'm calling from Tennessee.
All right, Mr. Williams.
And I'm glad to be on here today, and I want to thank you very much for affording us the opportunity so we can have to discuss these crucial national issues.
Okay.
First of all, I hope you and your family are keeping fine, and I hope you're doing good.
Oh, yeah, we
are. I pray that you people keep safe, and as we try to weather the storm with this global crisis.
All right, so let's go ahead to the point.
In response to your question as to my perspective as it relates to the president's speech, Mr. So, I just want to say that I want to commend the president for finally mustering the courage to come up and speak to the Liberian people. And I want to also commend Senator Abraham David Dillon for
what?
The persistent calling on the president to come out and speak up to his people.
Okay.
I believe if David Dillon had not made that call and continually persistently, the president would not have come up to speak to his people in this national crisis. It's not something that is not typical. It's something that is precedental. But I want to say that the president's speech, like most of your contributors here, we have to be honest ourselves. And this is a special call to most citizens. Let's be honest ourselves. We try, when it comes to President WEAH, we don't even, most of the citizens, they don't even lower the bar. They completely remove the bar completely. And they gave President WEAH the free ride that brought him to the Senate of the presidency. And that's the same free ride they want to give him while he served as a president or act as a president. This crisis has been, a global crisis has been taking place globally, and people, nations, great nations have been falling victimized to this crisis. So, and for the president to come out now, after 13 cases, according to the Ministry of Health, after 13 cases have been reported, and 3 or 2 deaths have been taking place, for the president to come today and give an empty speech that have no perspective, that have no substance, that give us no clarity, direction as to where we're going to go and how this thing going to handle. It's disappointing. And I said that to say that your last caller who just spoke, I mean, we don't have a clear picture. We don't even know what the roadmap to how to fight and defeat this thing. The only thing we know that the president declared state of emergency. He declared state of emergency. How you declare state of emergency in this national crisis when even there's underlying crisis that is taking place as we speak? The crisis of people not being paid on time. The crisis of people don't even have food to eat. The crisis of people don't. I mean, people did it, and the standard of living is being affected by this crisis. This virus.
When you say people not being paid, do you know the arrears in salary? I just don't want to dwell on that here. But I remember I was listening this morning and Senator Dillon was saying, "Oh, he was on air. You see, I just got an alert that my money is in my account, but I'm calling on government to even pay people up to March or April or something like that."
So are you saying definitively that the government is paying people on time and everybody's being paid on time?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just only arguing, say that they need to pay. I said Senator Dillon, he was on live with T-Max this morning.
I'm doing the same thing too. I'm calling on the government to pay people on time. As you're saying that Senator Dillon in while he was on T-Max show. So the point here we're saying here that President WEAH, in fact, we are sick and tired of President WEAH coming and giving speech. President WEAH need to address the issue. If are you as a journalist, are you not concerned? Are you not concerned and trying to call on the president to come and speak to the press? Because the press is the full estate. It's sort of kind of like the
no. Let us not rumble. Let us not rumble around the place here. I intend not to pivot the discussion here. to say you're sick and tired of the president. Look, we have to come with honesty when we come to this sort of international, discourse here, and that's why we don't believe in soundbite. You would never hear me saying something that I can't prove, I can't indeed verify. I must quote someone directly or sources. You're sick and tired here about the president. We have been talking that we are all been warning that the president was not speaking. So again, he took the podium today and you say, speaking substance of the speech, what is deliverable, those are other different arguments. But to say we're sick and tired hearing the president speaking, that would sound a little bit disingenuous to me.
I'm sorry that you probably may have understood me, but I'm not saying I'm sick and tired hearing the president speak. I'm saying, are you not sick and tired that this president had not held a press conference where you as a journalist can ask this person a question?
I would love to engage the president and every group of people like I'm doing that. I wish I have given that opportunity. We have extended that invitation beyond the president.
Why are you not calling on the president? You as a journalist, you the full SP. Why are you not calling the president to give you people a forum, a platform where you can have a press conference, you can ask him questions?
That's what I said.
There are a lot of questions we need to ask. Forget about the COVID virus. We need to ask him about the 25 million, the investigation of the 16 billion. Are you people not? You people. I mean, the journalists. I want to put you in that category. I know, Mr. Soe, possibly. Let me give you let me give you the benefit that maybe when you were on the ground in Liberia, maybe you are done things differently, but you still have a bigger platform.
Exactly.
Why are you not calling the president?
That's what I'm saying. Hold on. I don't want us to do a dialogue. Before I even visited Liberia, I called Mr. Mangi with a hope. And I went all over to people. But you know what? That's not a subject here. But I wish, not only the president, people in the opposition as well. And I will tell you that honestly. I traveled overnight to interview Darius Dillon. Saying Darius Dillon became a senator, look, politicians are just politicians.
So
they become more selective.
The opposition are not holding my tax. I'm not paying tax. Opposition is not supervising my tax.
Okay, but
they're not over the they're not the stewards of my.
Okay, but then here is a global news. I will tell you. So, CDC, hold on one second. CDC was once an opposition before, and they told us they were going to do it differently. Now they are not doing it, and we have other group of opposition now who are also becoming very selective institutions or people to talk to. So I do not even trust them the same way I do not even trust government.
Are you saying that the CDC time Helen Johnson never held a press conference?
I'm not talking about Helen Johnson Sirleaf. I'm making direct reference to the case we are talking about now.
And that's on the premise.
Helen Johnson Sirleaf administration, I never had a chance to interview her, but I can tell you Helen Johnson administration, what his name, the information minister, Ebola time, I had a privilege call here and interview him, the WHO representative and other folks. But this government, they don't. You call them, they don't call you back. When they want to do it, they do it. So what do I do?
And that's a concern. And it's not a distraction from the topic.
Okay, so tell us second, make your point here. Let me get to the other guy quickly here.
In conclusion, I think we the Liberian people need to raise a standard. A standard that we expect from our public officials, especially our president. The office of the president is the highest office in the nation. If the president cannot be clearly articulate and address the people and tell the people the complete state of the nation and be willing to take answer and question or concerns.
Okay.
If the president cannot do it, we must tell the president to impress upon him to do it.
Okay,
and that's what we are sales. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate the time.
Please, you always make your network. We always like to hold people accountable to, it doesn't matter whether you are in. Those people want to get up the hill that they become different people, they hook up with them. But thank you for your participation, and I like your
Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
All right, bye. Okay, let me go get some pepper from the Garden City here. 609 number 7227. Are you there?
Yeah, Mr. Soe, how you doing?
Good. Look, it seems to me that the society, the politics in Liberia has, the country is polarized. From all indications, we're seeing it. But talk to me here quickly. What's your own point?
Yeah, Mr. Soe, I'm so sorry listening to Liberians at this time. Instead of
somebody, please load your monitor. Here I'm getting the feedback. Somebody is listening at the same time on the line. Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Yeah, instead of us talking about our country, the welfare of our people, we're dwelling on politics at this time. So I don't even know how to describe it. So I want to thank the president for coming up at this time, telling the Liberian people to stay home. And but one thing I want to ask the people that in the United States here that we are, when the thing started here, since the government said that they want to give money out, who are they giving food to the home when they tell people to stay home? In America, in the United States that we live, are they bringing food to your home? Beside the job that you're doing to get $5 or $10, the essential workers are working right now.
Somebody please mute your phone if you are in a noisy place. I know everybody pushing hour, but please, just in case you are not speaking. Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Beside the essential workers. Yeah, beside the essential workers. Who the government carrying food to the houses in America? You know, when people try to take serious matter out of politics, it's sickening. I'm telling you. Right now, it is time for us to put together as Liberians. Okay, if you love your country, like the way they used to do, for go for me to go and destroy your country. Why don't you do go for me now to feed your people in Liberia? Not going through this kind of problem.
Okay, in 30 seconds, what would be your recommendation to national government or to Liberians, people that are under the sound of your voice?
Okay.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead. 30 seconds, quickly.
So, my recommendation to the government, I know things are tough. And right now, you're asking people not to go and sell, but at least give them time that they can go in the market. As the president said, the internal affairs minister to talk to the people from the counties. Even though you're saying that people should stay home, but at least give them a little time that they will go and sell in the labor market, more especially food market. You know, give them time that they will leave from there, that they can be able to support themselves while we're going through the quarantine. That's my advice to the government. And I want to talk to the Liberian people. Let it listen to the government.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Government. Yeah, thank you very much.
Right. Okay. Hello? Yeah. 763, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. What's your name and where you calling from? And I'll be coming back.
So my name is Dorothy Kwaina Tume.
Okay.
I live in,
Go ahead.
I live in Banga, but I traveled to the United States for a meeting.
Oh,
and I haven't been able to go back.
Oh, wow. It's quite interesting.
So I'm the former executive director for the Development Education Network Liberia.
Okay.
And I'm the gender specialist for that same organization.
Oh, wow. I think
so.
Is this your number?
Yeah, this is my number.
Okay, because
why I'm in is this.
Yeah, okay. I think I want to get I like to talk to people who are actually from the ground and who are hands-on deck people here. But you can still make your company. Yeah, but I will hope to also bring you here. Okay, I'm quite sure there's something
that would be really good.
Okay, yeah. Believe me, I'm gonna do it. I'm quite sure you've been listening, and there's something that trickled within for you for which you placed this call here this afternoon.
Yes, I actually followed the president's speech.
Okay.
And let me firstly say thank you to President WEAH for coming up to speak to the Liberian people, because I think it's critical. And though I think personally this should have been done earlier, it would have been better earlier, but I'm happy that you were able to come up today. Because as we know, this is a global crisis that is not just affecting all part of the world, but it has challenged the world to the point that countries that we label as developed countries are struggling to handle this pandemic in their own context. And for a country like Liberia to be delaying taking the kinds of action, I think it's not healthy for us. And today it's not going to be healthy tomorrow. I led a social mobilization arm of the Ebola response process during the Ebola outbreak in Bon County.
Is that a pro-government organization? I'm just curious.
This is a non-governmental organization.
Okay.
Development. an organization that have been in working in Liberia for like 22 years.
22. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I serve as the third in line executive director. I'm now serving the organization in different roles because we have new leadership. But I had a meeting to the states here where I came, and I couldn't return because of all the travel restrictions influenced by the corona virus outbreak.
Let me hold you there. Believe me, I'm taking down your number. We're going to have an extensive discussion here. But I want to draw your attention to something specific. From what I'm gathering from you, this organization being in existence for good number
since the Civil War. It was established during the Civil War.
Okay, since the Civil War. Now, it means you are the folks actually on ground dealing with today's people of Liberia, knowing what is happening. See what is happening now. Do you think the government is relating to these organizations? And this is what I have problem. The government.
Well, I really wanted to make my point.
Okay, go ahead.
If you could let me, please let me make my points before we have dialogue. I'm open to conversation.
Okay, good.
So I have a lot of experience from the civil society in terms of the response to the Ebola crisis. So looking at this virus, I'm not a health personnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Use very closely. And I see these developed countries challenged with this crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Issues of materials, issues of qualified, trained medical personnel, issue of equipment, issue of space, issue of the trauma, and all of these are coming together. Now, with the president's speech today, I think
Hold on 1 second, man. Hold on 1 minute, please. Somebody, please mute your phone. The last caller I just put you on. Please control your background. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead. I don't going to babysit.
So one of the things I would have loved hearing, the idea that health workers, retired health workers should join the fight, I think it's a good idea. But I know I have related with the county health team in Phoebe, in Bon County very strongly. I am currently the board chairperson for CB Doma Maternity Hospital. I know the challenges these hospitals are facing. In the midst of this crisis, the president didn't say anything about resources, materials. How are these people going to access supplies, materials, equipment to be able to fight this virus?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody talk about salary. This is what we've been talking over and over. But when we have a battle to fight like Corona, sometimes people say, okay, salary is issue, but right now I need material. I want to go to work, but I don't have material.
Right.
How will they get it? How will those kinds of people who passionately want to serve the country get supplies and materials? I know the issue of Phoebe. Few have been difficult problem over time. Most of the time you hear that Phoebe is in darkness. I have gone to Phoebe and seen Phoebe in darkness. So how is hospital like Phoebe, like I'm talking specifically for Bon County now. I know it affects many parts of the country anyway.
Mm-hmm.
How will Beaumont Hospital be able to function? We're giving for granted that all the hospital workers, all the health workers are saying, yes, we're going to fight this virus. How do we expect them to face that reality to fight the virus? I think the president should have follow-up press conferences to clarify some of these things. Have they put things in place to support
so quickly
the health sector?
Yeah, quickly here. I'm running out of time here. Do you think while you were there, I don't know when you got here, but government or the Ministry of Health, they've reached out to these, and this is where the problem is. At the coordination aspect to execute, and not just only in crisis time, is what is lacking, because we already have an established organization, people that are working, who are making voluntary services in different fields. Yeah, we have the president. He has his own thing going, the vice president. These are people in the authority who are supposed to make sure the implementations of all of these policies are fully enhanced and fully implemented. But they have their own thing going on. As a result, you who out there, if you don't even get to any of the close up, they will not turn to you to give you the support. And that makes it very difficult.
I'm not denying that those are issues that are going on, but we have this crisis on hand. Even if people have been looking in different directions, this crisis, like somebody said in yesterday in the U.S., yeah, it has flashed more light to the health system. So how do we move forward with it? And I would think that in a speech like a message like what the president gave today, something like that would be incorporated. That's why my recommendation, you were asking for recommendation earlier, would be that the president will follow up conference with press people so that they have the opportunity to ask him. So he clarifies to the public where they have made some steps, you know, so that the local people, when people are going to work, they say, okay, we're expecting materials or supplies tomorrow or day after tomorrow, so that people are informed. Because the president coming to clarify helps the nation, the whole nation, to be informed, rather than leaving this with the Ministry of Health that is going to be working through the county health teams.
Exactly, and I agree with
and
you.
He should update. He should update the public. He should speak more often. You know, he should speak. There should be time, even if not every day, every other day, the president should give us some idea of how this virus is being handled and the direction it's taking as a nation.
Okay, please, I'm going to call you. We're going to have an extensive discussion, and I agree. In as much Donald Trump here is a cuckoo here, he stand before the microphone, he will insult journalists, but at least he's talking, and that's what we have been saying from time to time. This president needs to do. Quickly, before I let you go, what you make of the president's rapid response thing to this coronavirus? Good decision? Bringing Mary brought Fenabono from your own experience.
Well, I would think, yeah, Mary Bro has her capacity, she has her expertise in certain areas, but when it comes to health, you know, they need to identify proactive people. Everybody will not be Mary Bro, but there are some people who are proactive in their sector. I think they need to work with Mary Bro. And I also think that civil society should not be ignored in this process, because civil society plays a critical role. Right. I mean, my experience, civil society is well placed to reach out and to make things happen. So the president should not forget the civil society organizations.
Okay, but I'm a very sensitive guy when it comes to the thing here. You said I'll hear you saying people who you think were some of the people that you think you have in mind. If you were the president or you had the ears of the president, who you think, for example, you have suggested? I'm curious.
Well, I will put it straight squarely to the health people to identify somebody, because they know each other within.
Okay.
Because I don't, you know, I will, if it comes to Brown County, I'll give you a bit more information, but at the national level, I wouldn't be able to do that. So just give it to them. Tell them, give me one or two person who can work with this person, and based on the criteria, they should agree. Right. What is it that you're looking for in these people, so that they're not just sending you anybody.
All right. So if I got you right, you say you're based in Brown County? You're based in Brown County?
I work in Brown County. I live there. I only came here early March.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We got a correspondent there. He's been an extraordinary job. So I just... Okay, but Bertin note. But I'm going to call you, and we're going to find time here and see whether we can have some of these sort of discussion with the hope to shine light and create some sort of awareness as to how things work out there. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you too. I've been making contribution even while I'm here, because I mean I have some expertise in certain area as well.
Okay.
So I'm mobilizing a national awareness package, and hopefully it will be on the radio there.
Oh, great. Oh, well, I will call you, share that information, and we can also make sure to be part of that process as well. That's our work at LPR. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much as well.
Okay. All right. I like to, when I'm having discussion with people, okay, folks, I'm extremely out of time here now. I'm going to have, by 3 o'clock, 3:15, I should be wrapping all here. But let me go to 717, I believe it's Davis, right? 717.
Yeah, this is Davis.
Yeah, my man. Thank you so much for being patient. Actually, the noise was incoming from your area, was from Oregon here. Okay, you listen to this lady, and we have had a long discussion on this here. And it seems to be the story of Liberia is endless, along like a Red Sea. So, you listen to the president?
Yeah, I listen to him. I listen to part of the story, but
The way you talking, say you listened up. Why you never completed it? So how you gonna make a judgment?
Because from the beginning, like it sounded no interesting to me.
Oh my goodness. Now they're gonna bring Dr. We are in your court. I think he will be found guilty right away. Okay, so okay, tell me why.
Yeah, because it should talk on national issue. The example, this morning I admired Jelon when you were saying the government employee because all African countries taking the same measure. They cut down the salary and help the people and pay people at least 2 months every year. And me, I'm from the business side. We're doing business too. The president is cutting our pay for now. We open our store 9 o'clock. We close it 3 o'clock or 2:30. And the president not even talking about reducing his price of his store, the rent. He is renting from him. You got to talk to the business community too, to the people that get houses where people renting from, to reduce the price because the businessmen will not be making that money. At the end result, you're going to be running to deficit. The president said get a lot of store rent there. He renting there. So where the business people are going to get that money from? When they say you're going to close your store down, you're going to be owing a rear.
Then that's what government going to kick in and come and say, hey, you got to give a time frame.
They're not America. They're not America where the government can give package to business people. That Africa down there, nothing you will get. You will end up going home. All the store people will evade you from the store because you will not get no business to do next. Now what's going to happen? A lot of business going to be closed down totally in Liberia.
So it seems to me like you disfavor the speech of the president, especially when it comes to closing down places. I think there was a time frame given. So let's see here.
From now to Friday, he said we should open businesses, but I'm sure we're opening businesses because those are buying businesses, they don't have money. Government not telling some people are selling food and others selling me and sell food too, and others they're not telling we're going to buy some of your food product or something to distribute on the people. We're not getting that money.
To what? To distribute what?
The government need to distribute food to the people.
Are they distributing food here to you?
Now they're waiting for United Nations to do that.
No, but if you can tell me, say, government needs to identify people who, special needs or people with intellectual disability and all of that, but come on, man, they can't give you food.
I can consider 80% of Liberian people as disability. But some of them, they're not even working. Yeah.
David. Okay, so let's pretend that the president going to do it. Oh, folks, I'm not picking up call now. I got to deal with these people and get out of here. So let's pretend the president is listening to you. How do you think the president should do it all over?
President need to call. In fact, that people he appointed, Mary Brown and wife in Abondo. The people that working in government, they get una area assignment. They get people. They get a lot of doctors in Liberia. They get a lot of nurses RN. They know most of this in there. They get a lot of medical specialists. So I appointed them. Like during the Ebola, they have Kimmy Wings and other people that are Kimmy Wings, right? They have other people then taking the head. I'm going to put somebody that doesn't even know anything about CND to go run the affair of doctors.
No, that's more or less that's not a CNA work they're going to do. That's an administrative work. But I agree, civil society, like the last speaker, the leader said here. I also have my own personal views or opinions in the compositions of the group. I believe the civil society should also be included. And this is what I've been hoping or hearing from people here, and they were not saying it because everybody seems to be taking the politics driven. And the reason for that is transparency, because when it came to the Ebola the last time around, we saw that people that brought in at the end of the day, no accountability. All right, I'm not going to question what Finabona can do it, and somebody was asking, you don't know the relationship. I don't know. That's not I always focus on the substance. But I'm looking at the transparency aspect in terms of accountability. Finabono is the aide to the president, so there is a potential compromise here. If there was any fraudulent her, would she be willing, would she get the courage to unveil that? That's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at any other thing, whether they have it, that's their business. But I think the civil society should have been included into this year, and for transparency's sake, that didn't happen, and that's my own concern. Okay, so 30 seconds before I let you go. So Is there any final thing you want to say to us?
Yeah, my message to President Weah. Just how you see Donald Trump with all that, he didn't say have problem with the American people, but this time he come on air with a health team. He come on air every day. They say breaking news. He's speaking from the White House. He had journalists interviewing him, talking to him. They asking questions. So President Weah, he must be on air every day as of today. You must not just go sit down somewhere, he give press conference, nobody to ask him questions.
Sit down. If I were the president, I would fire most of this public religion. This is the second time I have observed, and sometimes people will say people pay content. No, we have to, because there are other people who are not Liberians. They watch the thing. They had the president sitting down there, and the cameras there is not still stable. What are also cell phone they are using? That is ridiculous. Everything before the president comes to speak to the nation, especially it's going to be live, televised or telecast or whatever, everything should be said. Either they're throwing it, they're on live now. What is that? Smith Toby and Solo Kebe and Kalasco and Smith Toby, he knows better. They should do better than what they are doing. It does not represent. Samuel Doe, who was a military man, it didn't happen like that. Helen Johnson never happened like that. They need to get professional people to get the work done. These are some of the things that are causing problems. All right, my man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You also need the press people.
Okay, then.
All right.
Okay, that's my last two person here. 215, and I will count up by George for us to wrap it. 215 number 9934.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, there. What's your name and where you calling from? Go ahead quickly.
My name is Tama Konosu. I call from Upper Daivi.
Okay. All right. So, okay, let's hear your side of the story.
Oh, yeah. First of all, I want to thank the president for the courage today to address the nation as it relates to this virus that is destroying or disturbing rather the world. But for me, I have some issues because the government should have before coming up with such to address the nation rather, the government should have put in some mechanism, because looking at Liberia right now, we have 80 to 85% unemployed people struggling. They live on like a daily meal. That is where my concern lies. If the virus don't kill people, the starvation gonna kill people. I know people who live in actual poverty in Liberia. I personally, I live in it before come here. I know what it takes to sleep on a day. I lived 9 months in Liberia without eating salt. I remember, I can never forget that. That's part of my story. And I know what it takes to be in that kind of situation. People, you just sit and believe in God that the next day God will provide for you. You don't know where it's coming from. So these are people the government should have put some things to place to at least help those people. But if you assume put a family of 6, 7 in one room and say you're locking down and they're there and their father have to go on a daily hustle to come and feed them, it's going to be difficult. That's where my problem lies. I know the government need to work. This thing is serious. I work here at the Dafa airport. I know how it takes. This thing is really serious. People die every day.
Okay.
Every day. So
thank you so
what
much.
I want to say to the Liberian government is this: let them find means to help our people, at least when it comes to food. And then the government should separate the incident management team from the Ministry of Health. They need to deal with other sicknesses. Forget about everybody just focusing on the one sickness. You should have an incident management like Manasadi did 2014. Separate the Ministry of Health from the incident management team. While they were dealing with other sicknesses, Tobo Niswa and the other group were dealing with Ebola. They should do the same. I think it will help our people. That's what I want to say.
All right. Thank you very much. What, folks, and to all our onliners, your tweets, your comments, we want to thank you so much. We're going to wrap up, man, but let me just bring in Pa George. Pa George, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, before I bring you to cap the whole thing here, this is the latest we are receiving from our guys. Latest up to date. Total confirmed cases 31 in Liberia. Total active cases 24. Total to recovery 3. Total deaths 4. total suspected cases 40. Okay, so with this said here, there's a lot. What's the take-home message here today?
So this is why I said on this network that I said the 13 cases that the government said they have identified, I said it was more than that. Now, reality is setting in. But today, many people have said almost what I stated earlier, that this government is not transparent. And transparency is one of the things that lead to people mistrusting government. When you are not forthcoming, that's where you see the doubt start getting into people's mind. Even when you see the real thing, they don't want to believe you again. And this has been one of the major problems of the government. And I think you saw it this morning again. On Team My Show, they alleged that the government had not reached out to them. On KNTV, the guy was saying the same thing again. That they are not, the government is not reaching out to them for them to put up this message. So now you see what is happening. It's like people are working within a circle. Certain people are supposed to do certain things, and that's it. And this is where some are having problems. The appointment of Mary Bro, Finabono, this is where some are raising the issue. 2 months, in a span of 2 months, the president has spoken to the Liberian people 2 times with this kind of viral that has gone worldwide. In 2 months, the president will speak to the nation 2 times, and the speech does not outline any tangible thing. Only one thing today the speech did: curfew. All the other aspects, the civil society left out. I said it last on the same platform, Mr. So, let the president invite his opposition leader to a talk. Not so, and it's not time for everybody. No, call them and say, look, come, let's sit down on the table and let's see what we can do. Let's brainstorm to move forward. But nothing was done today again. And this is where we find ourselves. Accountability. The president did not lay out anything. Money, material, logistics, nothing was put forward to take the Liberian people. These are the resources that we are mobilizing to move on. Nothing was stated in the speech. Where do we leave the Liberian people? Hanging on a curfew that everybody is commanding curfew. What's about the logistics? Why the material? Who are the front lines? Where are the people? Where is these people that we're talking about? This is my problem. And many people, maybe I always say it's my view. Many people don't like me, but this is the reality. Nothing I got from this speech in terms of logistics, material, administrative personnel on the front line in the different countries. Who can we call to talk to them? Yeah? Today, look at the speech. Where was the Minister of Health? Where was the Director of National Health? Who was the medical director of JFK? The dental assistant, all these people. You don't think the president would have brought these people around to show to the public these are the forces that we have to match?
Exactly. This is, I like to talk to people with hair on their head. I think these are people because you send that video to and I listen to it, I play it over and over. The Dental to Medical Dental Association. You see, Donald Trump here, when they need to be watching. I assume they have access to enough internet. They need to watch or see other countries, how they are executing, how their communication process is being channeled and all of that, and they can learn. But besides that, I believe there are some documents on the file that they should try to go through, which they are not doing, because it should be a consolidated effort. When you having this, social distancing is factoring in, but hey, you have the Minister of Health, Madam Wilhelmina Jala, should have been by the side of the president. It sends a message that whatever the president is discussing or saying there is within the health people, backing as well that Musuka Fala, and call all of those people, put them together, and give us then people will say, okay, this seems to be a consolidated effort. But unfortunately, it's not happening.
So, and this is my takeaway from the whole thing, because I see people come, it's because of likeness, sentiment, travel thing, and people don't want to speak the reality. Because today, this was a major press conference. The president should have had all those people, the technocrats, the administrators, all should have been behind him in that room to demonstrate to the Liberians, but this is the team that I have assembled to tackle this virus. Where were these people today? The president said behind one camera, whether it was he or whatever, sitting down. Look at person.
So the president is on now, yeah.
No. But look at person. We have body language, Mr. So. Look at this person. We have body language behind that camera. What did they appear? What do you read from that? The seriousness of this thing. That a man is speaking with authority. Did you see that today? Did you see that?
Okay. So what the old man?
I just want to leave on a note.
Yeah.
I just want to leave on that note. And please, if you talk to that lady, maybe if possible, I can get in touch with her from.
Oh yeah, definitely. I took a number.
Yeah.
I think
that was my take. Yeah, that was my take on the whole speech.
All
the
right.
whole thing today, I was disappointed, and those are reasons that I gave for my disappointment.
Okay.
The curve is okay, but there are several other reasons.
All right.
I didn't see that.
And that's how we like people to make logical analysis on stuff here. Well, folks, every good thing must come to an end. I want to thank you so much. I'm Alphonso Zean Soe. It's a little after 3 o'clock here in the East Coast from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Thank you for those of you here online, your comments, your view. Again, whatever expressed on this network is not a view of the management and staff of the Liberia Public Radio, but we do help to facilitate this conversation. Tomorrow, there's going to be another time we're going to have similar thing. I'm waiting to assemble professionals, people with the expertise. Something ridiculously happened today during the live interview of on T-Mac show, and I was completely appalled, but I'm going to get people who are going to dive into that. I have never seen that for a sitting senator to giving money to media institution, the front page, and Sky FM, T-Max Drate, and Rodney Sear, they should have known better. Come on, we are in the political season. Whoever does that in this war, whether it was in good faith, Abraham's Darius Dillon should have known better. And I know the opposition will not even talk, and even people might not have. But I'm putting a team together. This kind of brings me to mind how Front Page Africa and Rodney Sear was compromised when it was reported that George WEAH, he was a citizen of the United States, and accepted 10,000. Journalism comes with perfection. There's an ethical part of it. It's not just by sitting behind the microphone. When I take anything from politician, I compromise the institution. I compromise this Liberia Public Radio. It happens. 2017. Some people they wanted to use LPR as a network to promote. No. This is not who we are. It is unacceptable. And for the check in the live studio, can you imagine? My own sitting senator of Rhode Island, Jack Reed, to go on to Fox News or CNN and giving Wolf Blesser $10,000 or $20,000 to disseminate. This is where the failed leadership of our people, both the government and the opposition, comes in, and people do not have the courage to speak to those things. There are organizations in the country. There are other people that are in the country that have been working. They should tap into the expertise. So they're doing it the same way the government doing. George, we are president, we are going in studio to make some. So the ordinary man who is an artist who's supposed to be doing his thing to translate messages, they are not doing it. So everybody doing it. That's why people are putting pictures on bucket. But I'm going to have a team here and we're going to be talking to that. And I think Senator Dillon, Front Page Africa and Sky FM should give that money. It is a serious political compromise to take money from politicians, whether it was done in good faith. Where is the credibility? Where will the transparency be if tomorrow is something were to pop up from Darius Dillon? Will Front Page Africa get the guts to publish that? Will T-Max Jirate get the guts to talk about that when he has taken 10,000 to 20,000 to spread news? So where becomes of daily observers? What becomes of OKFM? What becomes of Joy TV? What becomes of the New Democrat? So how the selection process, can anybody tell me or convince me, are these two institutions are the ones that are disseminating information when it comes to the coronavirus or news disseminations in the country? So how did Senator Darius Dillon come to that conclusion? Look, politics is not for small children. Sometimes you have to seek consultation when you are making decisions. No politician or no any credible institution, media institution for that matter. And I expect Rockney Sear to know better. T. Max, he's a commentator. But this thing, it has its own ethics. There's an ethical aspect. Can anybody tell me Richard Matter will be on air on the prime time, and any of the sitting U.S. senator or congressman or governor to say, on behalf of my people, my supporter, or so, we're giving this $10,000 for this? Wow, this is why they have foundations. If you want to do it, it can be channeled in a different form or context. Come on, we need to learn. In as much we want to hold government accountable, we too must hold ourselves accountable. And we're coming up with a commentary. Hopefully by today, tomorrow, you're going to get that. And I'm going to have that team, people that have worked in government and people with the expertise. We're going to have that conversation. Well, folks, I want to thank you so much for being here. And this is why that set all apart from that of all of these other network here. And this is why they have become more selective where to go, because they want to have a free pass. And their people, their supporters, be it the government and opposition, they do not have the guts. When their people are doing these bad things, they do not have the guts to speak it, because why? It satisfies their political desire, or it plays into their narrative. But we do not hold back. We do not humiliate people when you come on our network. We ask you tough questions. We follow all of the whys, the how, the when. That's what we do. I want to thank you so much. I will be back here tomorrow. I hopefully we'll get that in place. Again, to our views expressed here are views of that of your own personal views. And this is why we give everybody. We do not sanction people's view here. We do not turn people off. We allow you. And when you make your statements or comments, if it requires us to go follow up on the basis of a statement, we try to do that. Thank you so much. Have a pleasant day. And I will be back here. This is part of the conspiracy we are talking about.
It's rapid, continuous, and repetitive. It makes no commitment to objective reality, and it makes no commitment to consistency.
Ooh, sounds like Trump.
Can you give me a second? I'm building a narrative here. The first two characteristics are pretty standard for propaganda. Research shows that if we hear a lie from multiple sources, we think of it as more credible. The same is true for lies we hear repeatedly. The more familiar we are with a lie, the more likely we are to think of it as true. But the last two characteristics, no commitment to objective reality or consistency, that's surprising.
They don't care that much about the truth. Much of their propaganda is either completely false or has a kernel of truth.
Maybe the most jarring example of this was in 2014, when the world watched as Russian troops entered Ukraine.
There were a bunch of Russian soldiers wearing uniforms without insignia, and those were dubbed Little Green Men.
This was a huge deal. Russia was essentially invading a country they had said they were not going to invade. But when Putin was asked about it,
were these Russian soldiers? No. These were local self-defense forces.
Putin vehemently denied, no, the Little Green Men are not Russian soldiers.
It wasn't just that Putin was lying. He was lying about something so obvious. There was footage of the soldiers airing on TV.
Russian troops spreading out throughout the strategic Crimean Peninsula.
And then, a few weeks later, he just said the opposite.
Of course, we had our servicemen. They were acting very correctly.
No, I'm sorry. No, I misspoke. Just, of course we have troops there.
This is counterintuitive. This is not what I expected, because I come from an influence background that says credibility is king and the truth will always win.
Part of being a good liar is not getting caught, making sure your lies are at least somewhat believable. When Dick Cheney said,
"There is no doubt Saddam Hussein now has weapons of mass destruction,"
he was lying, but to most people who aren't intelligence experts, it sounded credible. If someone asks,
"Hey, did you eat my sandwich?"
You'd say, "Nope, I brought my lunch from home." You wouldn't say, "You never had a sandwich." But when it comes to fire hosing, believability doesn't really matter.
I think being willing to not be seen as credible is okay with the Russians.
We'll come back to this, but right now it's Trump time. Since the election, people have pointed out that Trump uses fire hosing too.
I really had no view that this would be anything that anyone would think about applying to American politics. That's not what I'm about. I am concerned with foreign intervention in our political processes.
Okay, fine. Donovan, bring in the second interview, please. Thank you.
You know, I think it can be deceptive just how different they look. But despite the different styles, I think they do the exact same thing.
This is Masha Gessen. She's a Russian-American journalist, activist, and all-around badass. And she's been warning about the similarities between Trump and Putin for years.
They just create sort of this unmanageable volume of falsehood.
Gessen argues that fire hosing, telling and retelling obvious lies, isn't about persuasion. It's about power. When Putin says there are no troops in Crimea, or when Trump says he never mocked a disabled reporter, they're not just lying, they're asserting that they are not constrained by reality. That everything, even things that are totally obvious to us, can be challenged.
That's a very clear demonstration of power. You have to engage with what he said, even though it's false.
Those last two features of fire hosing, the shamelessness, the inconsistency, they're kind of the point.
The way that they lie.